Yo, what's going on, guys? Johnny GB here, bringing you guys week 4 of the ICBA. We're taking on Tone and the Maine Red Clawitzers. And you guys see his screen. It is Fat, Granbull, Uniclus, Celesteela, Mega Venusaur that he actually just got this week. So he has a lot of fat, and I'm not really looking forward to going against Fat. I really just hate going against Fat teams. But the team I brought this week, we have Choice Banded Entei. We have offensive Mega Blast, or we have a defensive Mega Blastoise, Rest Talk. We have Spiritomb with Taunt to get rid of that Reuniclus's Trick Room. So I feel like I'm really prepared for this battle, and went in with that mindset that, hey, I've prepped a really good team for a lot of his threats. His Choice Banded Entei switch-ins don't really exist at all. And I'm going to lead off with Garchomp here. We're a defensive Garchomp here. I wanted to get up rocks, but I really thought that he would have HP Ice Venusaur, but I really anticipated the Leech Seed more than anything, and he's going to Mega Evolve to his Mega Venusaur. And he's going to hit me with that HP Ice, so I know one of his moves, and I know HP Ice does not do much to Spiritomb. And it doesn't do much, so I really wanted to scout this Venusaur moveset, because if I'm able to set up Calm Minds, I can sweep this team. And he goes out to the Granbull. Now, Granbull is the only threat on his team to my Spiritomb. Spiritomb pretty much sets up on Venusaur, sets up on Celesteela, sets up on Reuniclus. So there's a lot of Pokemon that Spiritomb just sets up on. And here at this point, I just hard switch out into Entei because I was not taking the Play Rough. I was really expecting him to go for the Play Rough here. And he ends up clicking Thunder Wave, and at this point I was real angry because Entei pretty much 2-code everything, 2-code to O-code everything on his team. You're going to see he's just going to withdraw his Granbull. He's going to go out to Wukong, the Infernape, and this is going to take over 60% from a banded Sacred Fire. So I was in a very good spot. I go out to Garchomp here because I am Yache Berry, Rough Skin, and the point of Rough Skin, and then I had Rocky Helmet on Chestnut, was to really wear down this Infernape. And right there, he's in range of one layer of Spikes and Stealth Rocks from KOing. He goes out to Venusaur. I know he has HP Ice. I don't want to show it yet. So I go right out to my Entei here. And it's my best HP Ice switch-in. Just to scout and see what his moveset is. Now, I do not outspeed Mega Venusaur at this point, and he reveals that he has Earthquake, so he's even prepared for Jirachi, a Venusaur versus Jirachi matchup. As I stay in, I go for the Flare Blitz because it does over half to Mega Venusaur. And I'm going to take the recoil damage, and I'm going to go hard out into Jirachi on his Synthesis here. Really just trying to scare, I go hard to Spiritomb because Earthquake does not actually do much to Spiritomb. I think it does 23 to 34%, I believe is what it was. So, at this point, I'm able to set up Calm Mind. Better option was probably just to click Shadow Ball. And he goes out to Granbull as expected. Intimidate won't matter because I am Calm Mind Rest Talk. And I go out right into my Jirachi here. just because I am special Jirachi. I know that Intimidate does not bother my Jirachi. This allows me to set up a sub as he goes out to Crimson the Crocodile, and I have enough speed investment into this Jirachi that I can take out I can outspeed Crocodile if he's not Choice Scarfed. But my mistake was I put too much into HP on Jirachi and not enough into its actual special attack. And I think going max special attack should have been the right move instead of really just forcing it all into HP. But he's just going to go for the Earthquake, and he's going to withdraw this turn, and I did not play aggressively on this play, knowing that I can't touch Celesteela because I'm Flash Cannon, Calm Mind, Psychic, Substitute, so I can't really touch Celesteela at all. And I really just didn't play aggressive by going out into Entei there, as I just go for the Flash Cannon, and it's going to do 0 to Celesteela. And not looking forward to this point at all anymore. Because I'm not sure what the Celesteela is going to do. I switch out to Entei. I was really anticipating Flamethrower here. Just going through Celesteela's moves, Flamethrower was the one that just popped out at me, and he ends up clicking Earthquake, and down goes Entei. I was not thinking Earthquake Celesteela. I was really thinking Flamethrower, so I thought Entei would be the right play to take on that fire attack. And at that point, I was real worried about the Celesteela at this point because I lost my one thing to really just take it out. Now I have to rely on my Spiritomb, but he still has that Grand Bull alive. And here is the Grand Bull. It's going to come out, and I'm just struggling with this Fairy and Steel type that he has because I have no way to really break them at this point. Jirachi, yes, but Jirachi, I got rid of Thunderbolt last second, and got rid of Thunderbolt, and it's going to end up hurting me. He goes for the Earthquake, anticipating the Jirachi to come in. I just stay in, and I go for the Shadow Ball to do a little under half to the Grand Bull. So pretty much my main goal at this point is I have to get rid of Gramble. I have to get rid of it quick so that my Spiritomb can pretty much sweep at this point. As I let him go for the Play Rough, really just trying to scout, see what he's going to do. I go for the Shadow Ball to weaken it just to a little just a little bit more for a KO. And now here's where I can make the safe switch out into Jirachi because I'm really anticipating him to just go for Play Rough. Well, actually, no, I go Blastoise here because I can take either Play Rough or Earthquake from this thing. But the problem is I can't really take on Celesteela, especially especially defensive Celesteela. As I'm really anticipating I was anticipating his Venusaur because I wanted to start setting up spikes. I know I can take 1 HP Ice, set up 1 layer of spikes, which I know if he's going to be doing switching, his Infernape's going to take spikes damage, his Granbull will now take spikes damage, so it was very important for me to really get those spikes up so that I can take out that Granbull. Now, there's a couple misplays here on these next 15-ish turns, and a couple plays that just really had me confused on his end that ended up really just paying off for him. He's just going to withdraw Groot, and he's going to go out to Kaguya. I mean, it's just a basic switch because I can't touch this thing. I just click Psychic. Instead of really just forcing it and going out to Garchomp and scaring him out, I just was not thinking it through. As you're going to see, Kaguya's main focus of recovery is going to be potentially Leech Seed and Leftover, so me losing Entei really just made me upset because I have no way to take this thing out. I have Garchomp here to take the Earthquake, sort of. It's not going to be the greatest answer because he could carry HP Ice, but I could also scare him away potentially with SD Fire EMZ, which was my original set, but I did not end up having it this battle. I ended up switching it for a defensive Garchomp. You're going to see the Granbull's going to start taking the Spikes damage. I get my Stealth Rocks up here because now I get a little bit more chip damage on the Celesteela. 12% on Stealth Rocks is very nice. Just a little bit more helpful for Fire Fang Garchomp to end up taking it out. And I'm just going to click Earthquake. Granbull's gone, so that is one major threat to my team out of the way, which is needed. I needed to get this Granbull for Spirit Tomb to come in and sweep. As Crocodile comes in, now I wasn't really going to risk it on the Ice Fang here. He can always click Knockoff. I'm -2 attack, so I know I won't kill this thing. So it's just a free switch to my Chestnut and just have his Crocodile take damage, but instead he clicks Earthquake. I was really hoping on Knockoff to really just whittle down. Yeah, Knockoff, I really just wanted to whittle it down. I could have taken Knockoff a little bit better and potentially Spiky Shield and just really wore down this Crocodile, but it just didn't go the way I really was planning it in my head. But Blastoise will come in and it was really just what was going on in my head was I thought he was going to click Knock. It would bring me down to about 25 HP. I could have Spiky Shield and I could have just ward down the Crocodile. But at that point, it really didn't matter if I lost Chestnut or not because it still allows his Venusaur to come in. So whether I get another layer of spikes up, I mean, it could have helped out for the Venusaur, but really, in the end, him going for Earthquake and me losing Chestnut didn't matter at the end. So at this point, he's shown his full Venusaur moveset: Sludge Bomb, Earthquake, HP Ice, and Synthesis. And this is where I'm starting to play aggressive, really anticipating the Celesteela to come in, but instead he just clicks Earthquake, so that was one mistake on my part. I could have stayed in and at least Psychicked the Venusaur first to get some good damage off onto it, and end up finding out after the battle he was Relaxed Venusaur, so he was a bit bulkier. So he was a bulkier Venusaur, so I figured that I could take Earthquakes from Jirachi actually very well. I'm 3-code after Stealth Rock, or not after Stealth Rock, after Leftovers. I'm 3-code by it, and I just really kept anticipating him to go Celesteela. I was really worried because I have no Celesteela switch at this point. He can anticipate Garchomp, go HP Ice, done, gone. So Jirachi at this point, just really in a tough spot with Jirachi here, because I was really unsure what he was going to do with this Venusaur. So he stays in, goes for the Earthquake. On the turn, I hard switched, and that really, killed me, because I could have KO'd this Venusaur, but instead it really came back to bite me in the end, because I could have KO'd the Venusaur and would have fared better versus this Reuniclus with a higher HP Jirachi potentially. But I go out to Spiritomb here because it is my Reuniclus answer. He has nothing for this, and this is where the battle actually took a turn for the worst, and it was a real mistake on my part. I end up clicking Taunt on this Venusaur, and I clicked Taunt just so that I know I can take an Earthquake after I get my Leftovers recovery. He can't be able to Synthesis, and then I can rest on this turn. But instead, he just clicked the Earthquake, and I should have clicked the Rest. Had I clicked Rest, Reuniclus can't beat a full HP Calm Mind Spiritomb 1v1, and I was real upset with myself at that point because I pretty much let my one win con get weakened. Celesteela, even though it has Leech Seed, it won't be able to take on the it won't be able to take on the Reuniclus at such low health. He has to have Shadow Ball for the Reuniclus, and it just wasn't going through my head that he would try to sack off Venusaur. Because even then, his Venusaur moveset was Earthquake, Sludge Bomb, HP Ice, all of which get worn down by pressure real quick, and at that point I can set up Calm Minds, get to +6. I have Taunt if Reuniclus ever wants to come in. If Celesteela ever wants to come in, click Leech Seed. I had the Taunt for it, and these next few turns really just turn into a stall war between Restock, Blastoise, Celesteela. The Restock Blastoise was a good idea because he does have he does have Infernape, which close combat still does a good amount to my Blastoise. Still can 2-ko my Blastoise, depending on my set, depending on his set. So the Restock Blastoise worked out. But there's no reason I shouldn't have clicked Rest there with Spiritomb. That would have won me the game right there, because I learned his sets after the battle. He was Calm Mind, Psycheum Z Reuniclus, which you guys should see here within the next 3 to 4 turns. He was Calm Mind, Trick Room, Psychic, and Shadow Ball. Shadow Ball obviously for the Spiritomb. But this just really bothered me, and one, I didn't have Dark Pulse on Blastoise. I didn't think I would end up with a Blastoise Reuniclus matchup, and pretty much I got useless moves on my Rest. A Scald would have been nice, but again, I mean, he was a relaxed Reuniclus for the Trick Room, and Scald would do very little. Scald would just do very little to me, and here I go Spiritomb thinking, you know what? Potentially, if he goes for Psychic here, I can get some HP recovery. But instead he goes for the Trick Room, and I needed at least 25 HP, or 25% to live a Shadow Ball from Reuniclus. which I go for rest, and this is where that rest turn came into play, where if I clicked rest, I end up winning the battle, but I end up clicking taunt versus the Venusaur, making sure that it doesn't stall me out potentially, and just that one play really aggravated me, as he's going to start setting up Calm Minds here. It's not going to matter. Blastoise is asleep. I'm going to go for Sleep Talk. I'm just going to get Rest again, which does nothing beneficial to me, and right here he's going to show off his Psychium Z. I'm not sure what the actual name of the move is. It's Z Psychic. Alright, Shatter Scythe is what he's going to go for, and at this point, Blastoise is not living that. So Mega Blastoise so far has not been to my liking. And you guys will have an update on some team changes that are going to occur here soon. But I go out to Jirachi. He's still under Trick Room, so he outspeeds me. Shadow Ball will take it out. And Garchomp will come in, and not much Garchomp will be able to do. Just weaken Garchomp. Just going to die to Psychic. And that will result in a 3-0 loss to the Red Clawitzers. And really, I prepped well. I made some plays that I shouldn't have, one being the Entei switch in, not anticipating Earthquake Celesteela, as it's a move that hits both Entei and Jirachi, common switch-ins to it, and just the taunt play against Mega Venusaur really just hurt me late in the game with a chance to set up and sweep. Yeah, I didn't have Sleep Talk, but still Venusaur couldn't do anything, Celesteela couldn't do anything. Infernape, I can just rest right on its Flare Blitz, get my HP back, and proceed just to stall out the rest of his team. But it didn't work that way, but this... I was able to learn some stuff on some different plays that people may make late in the game, and that really is what I took out of this game. We fall down to 1-3, got to bounce back for 6-foot hacks next week, and then Merc the week after, get back to 3-3, which is what I'm looking forward to. But if you guys enjoyed this week's ICBA battle, go ahead, leave a like on the video, comment your guys' support, and subscribe to the channel for more Pokemon content. But with all that being said, guys, I am Johnny GB, and I'm out.